at the 10th Street Studio for another Community Unity podcast and vlog. So thank you so much to Drew Gray, who is joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Tell me who you are and who you're with.
Sure. I am the Director of Fatherhood Programs for the Martin County Healthy Start Coalition.
And it's called the David Cardno Fatherhood Initiative.
Correct.
It just changed, so that
It
I
did
called
just
it the wrong
change.
thing in the last episode. So it's a Fatherhood Initiative.
Correct. For a long time, we were the David Cardno Father and Child Resource Center.
Yes.
We wanted to rebrand the specific program name, so we're now the David Cardno Fatherhood Initiative. Most importantly, though, David's name is still attached to it.
And tell me about David.
Sure. So unfortunately, I never got to meet David, but he was very beloved by the community. He's the one who really, so to make a very long story short, the program was started in 2000 with stakeholders in the community. Actually, Elliot Paul was was the original founder.
Wonderful. I love Elliot.
Elliot's great. He's the best. He was the original founder, but then David kind of took the ball and ran with it. And David was responsible for getting us into Martin County Jail. And David's passion for just helping dads was incredible. Unfortunately, he passed away, and I had the opportunity and privilege to come on in 2019.
That's amazing. Well, I'm so grateful for you and the work that you're doing in the community. A lot of fathers need you. So we're going to get into all of the minutia of what you do.
Sure.
But I just wanted to take this opportunity to say that you guys are funded through Children's Services Council of Martin County, and so thank you to the Martin County homeowners for your taxpayer dollars being at work.
We appreciate it.
So I just want to say I have really enjoyed getting to know you over these past couple years and seeing the work that you have been able to do and the changes in the lives of the fathers and throughout the different events in the community. So I just had a experience with you through the Martin County Leadership Program.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience there?
Yes. So,
What you can, of course, because
Of
I know
course.
it's like mum's the word.
Of
But
course.
tell us a little bit about your experience there.
Leadership is Fight Club, you know. But no, leadership was wonderful. I cannot say enough good things about Tim Kinane and Cindy, who were just excellent leaders. And obviously, I'm scared of Cindy, so I would never say anything
That's
bad about
Mom.
her anyway. She's the best. No, it was just a really insightful, I think would be the appropriate word, experience. It really makes you kind of dig deep and look into who you are, not just as a leader, but as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you do a lot of interesting stuff. You get to tour Martin County, and all that stuff is cool. But I think really how you grow and develop as a person is just a testament to why that program's so great.
And what was your graduating class?
We were class 33, where I became we.
Ooh, snap. Who came up with that?
I hope that's right. It was a
Group effort?
collective, yes.
I love that. So Zach Hackley, our Director of Finance, was in the class with you and Ann, actually, who was a previous guest.
Yes, Zach, a man among boys, and Ann is wonderful.
So I was graduating class 27, but I was able to help out on planning on some of the days. So it's always such a great experience for everybody who goes through, depending on the work that you put in. So they are accepting applications right now. So if you're interested in joining Martin County Leadership Class 33 or 34, excuse me, because you just graduated, be sure to check out the Stuart Martin County Chamber website and submit your application. So that's my little segue for that. Tell me a little bit about the Fatherhood Initiative and the work that you do and some of the dads that you're working with.
Sure. So, as I said, we were started in 2000 because we saw the need in the community to bring along fathers. I think Healthy Start in general has kind of been in the forefront of understanding the importance of what a dad brings to a family. Even in our mission statements, we have every father involved. So I think primarily what we've been able to do in Martin County is we have our Team Dad program. It's where it's kind of like a dad's coaching. We get to
Mhm.
meet with the dad one-on-one, and we kind of go over an evidence-based curriculum with him that has shown that it leads to significant increases in protective capacities and decreases in child abuse and neglect. That's all, obviously that's the selling point for the program, but I think the selling point of what we do is we're here to develop relationships.
Mhm.
We understand that it's support for men in general is not great, and men in general don't really want to be supported, right? It's we try to take it all on ourselves, and I think where we're trying to bridge that gap is, we understand, it's no one wants to sit there and sit through a class and be dragged into this.
Mhm.
We're trying to create a relationship in a supportive environment where, hey man, I'm just a guy that's here for you. And we've had some success with bringing these dads along, and I'm really proud of what we've done with our jail program. We've been in there a long time now, and it's cool to see the changes of guys who are hurting, right?
Mhm.
As the saying goes, hurting people hurt others. Well, a lot of these gentlemen then in there are really broken, and it's especially when it comes to missing your families and not being around your kids. And I think we get to offer them kind of a hope in that they can still be a father even though they're not directly involved in their kids' lives. And when they get out, it gives them the tools to really succeed.
And so it's like a healing process from past traumas. And what's so interesting is that I've had a conversation with Ann Posey and a conversation with Mike, kind of talking about how as adults, we sometimes don't realize that we have these traumas, but you're giving them a bridge to realize those things and to work on those things so that they can continue to be a better person and be there for their family to break generational cycles. So that's
Sure.
pretty amazing. And then Mikey G, the last interview I had, he was talking about how his situation with his daughter Brooklyn, how at first he didn't want to accept any help
Mm-hmm.
because he can do it, because that's the
Sure.
mentality that you just brought up again.
Sure.
So I love how my episodes have been feeding into the next interview, and so we're all in this together, and that's pretty wonderful. And again, community unity, that's what it's all about, making a brighter future for tomorrow. So tell me a little bit more about some of the details of what you do with these dads to be able to help them move forward and to be engaged with their children.
Sure, of course. So I think a big portion of what we do obviously is support, but it's the parenting education, right? Through our Team Dad program, we're going into the home, dad coaching, and it's all individuals who either call up our Connect program with Healthy Start or they're in care coordination with Healthy Start. And so they're already kind of receiving services, and we come and bring the dad along, right? Because, dad for a long time was second-class citizens. But thanks to Governor DeSantis and House Bill 7065, we recognize the importance of fatherhood. And so we get to come along, and I think our big part is the education piece, right? Letting dads know, kind of, I think it's really about figuring out who they are as a man first. And once you can understand and grasp that, who you are as a man, then you can learn to be the best father you can. And we also are fortunate to hold the contract with CC Kids, which is an DCF agency, that we are able to help dads who are in a dependency case management as well. We go and we provide parenting education for that community.
So how is that how you get a lot of your referrals, through CC for Kids and through DCF? And
Correct, yeah. So we get a lot of them are either coming through our care coordination or our Connect program, or we get them through CC Kids. And we are also, with that particular service we service all of the Treasure Coast. It's not just Martin County. We provide Team Dad services in Okeechobee as well. And we are fortunate to be co-hosting a father-daughter dance with them on June 15th. It's excellent attendance up there. All the dads really get into it, and we're excited to be a part of that again this year.
awesome. And you just had a father-daughter dance for Valentine's Day this year in Martin County, right?
Yes, we did. It was our kind of official first one where it was just us. We co-hosted with the YMCA. They were wonderful. And it was very well attended. I think the dads. It was cool just to see them all coming out and carrying around their, little princesses, right? And I got to bring my daughter, who mostly just wanted to dance in front of everyone,
I love
make
it.
sure she was the center of attention.
Belle of the ball.
And that she is. She's the best. But with that, we're hoping to make that an annual thing for us now, as far as providing that for the community.
And she was the cutest little Ninja Turtle for Halloween.
Yes, that she is. Love you, Rye Pie.
I mean, 10th Street and City of Stuart, where 10th Street Studio is hosted a Halloween event this fall or last fall in Memorial Park, and we were part of the booths walking around giving out candy, and Drew and his daughter were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that was I think the second time we got to do that together, and she's always like a great helper when it comes to kind of the events we do, and even like she'll run around throwing candy in people's baskets or whatever they're carrying. It thrills my heart because I think she's got what is the expression? I think a heart for service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I
she
don't
has
attribute that.
She has an example, right?
Well, I don't attribute that to just me. It's
Yeah.
her mother as well. But it's nice to see that what we do matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That modeling matters. And not to brag, but she did say I was the best daddy, and all other daddies were second best. So,
And so who better to teach other dads to be the best dads that they can be?
Right. Well, I appreciate that. I just think I always like to say there's no such thing as a perfect parent, right? It doesn't exist. If you find it, you're probably going to be very wealthy because you found something no one else has, right? I think all we can do is try to understand who we are as people and make better choices for our kids. Actually, if you don't mind, part of our leadership was sharing our why.
Yes, that was going to be coming up. So thank you.
I see that's what you call a segue, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
But part of my why, I think I've had for a while. So I know what it's like to grow up without a dad. My dad died of a methadone overdose when I was 7, I think. Yeah, I was 7. And a lot of my life was spent in foster care. So I know that need and that kind of that pain. But I also was blessed where I had a few positive role models in my life who came along and kind of helped guide me in the right direction. And I'm forever grateful for that. If it wasn't for that, I don't know where I'd be.
I mean, that's what we're supposed to do as parents, is to help guide.
Correct, right. And so I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for that. So I like to say, or how I feel, is if I can help a dad make better choices so a kid doesn't have to grow up like I did, I've done my job. And thank you, silent violin.
That's amazing. I love that.
Sure. And I think that's what's important to me. And I use this anecdote a lot when I present, and I think it sums up what we do at the David Cardno Fatherhood Initiative. But long story short, the dad's working all day, right? He's busy. His son keeps, Dad, play with me. He goes, Johnny, I can't right now. Dad, play with me. He goes, here, I'm going to give you this puzzle of the map of the world. I want you to put this together. When you're done, I will come play with you. Johnny takes it. Dad says, okay, I bought myself at least a day or two. So Johnny comes back in 20 minutes. He goes, Dad, I did it. He goes, no way. So Dad walks up to him and he sees it's put back together. He goes, Johnny, how did you do this? And he goes, well, it was easy. On the back of the picture of the map of the world, there was a man. So I put the man together and the world fell into place.
Ooh.
So...
yeah.
But I know I joke, but I really believe in what we do, and I believe why we do that is if we can help put the man back together, the rest of the world falls into place. And I think that's really important for us as we go forward, right? Because our vision statement is that every child in the Treasure Coast grows up with an involved father, right? And part of being involved is learning how to take care of yourself. And if you can't take care of yourself, how do you expect to take care of anyone else?
I love that, man.
So
I know
it was a lot, but I appreciate that.
It's very heartfelt, and you can see that you are very passionate, and your why is amazing. You've turned your pain into purpose. And it's something that I feel many people in the community who are wanting to give back and wanting to join forces and making a brighter future for tomorrow, like they have that passion, they have that fire, and it's wonderful to see of our community leaders making that change. So thank you.
Oh, you're very well. I appreciate the opportunity to share it.
Yeah, and where can they find your information? Do you have your own website, or you're underneath the Martin County Healthy Start?
So we are underneath the Martin County Healthy Start website. You'll find us on there. We also have our Facebook page, which is the David Cardno Fatherhood Initiative. And we also have rack cards that we have all throughout the community. We have a QR code where you can connect right to us.
Fantastic.
So we have quite a few ways to reach us.
And it's mchealthystart.org?
Correct.
mchealthystart.org, and you're underneath one of the tabs.
Correct. We are underneath the programs.
Perfect. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about how you receive funding and some of the things that you're looking for, your needs, to be able to help grow your program and meet more fathers.
Sure. So we are privileged. We're funded through CSC, funded by Hope Sound Community Chest. And we're funded through Healthy Start through the Team Dad DOH program. And we're funded through Communities Connected with Children. So we have a couple funding sources, but as far as our needs, really it's just to bring us dads, right? It's about getting the word out and, letting dads know that we're here for them. We're not just, going to yell at them and how to be a dad. We're here to support them, bring them along.
Do you have assistance with legal? Is that something that you guys do as well?
So we've had the opportunity to help out a few dads when it comes to legal services. Eula Clark has been wonderful. I've sent her quite a few dads. She will do free legal consultations for us. And we also are privileged to have Adam Less of ADL Law Group. He has helped a couple dads that we've sent him as well, and they're all wonderful.
Some of the collaborations that you guys have throughout the community, can you expound on those?
Sure. So we have, for the longest time, we've had the opportunity to, with 10th Street, Jessica here has been wonderful.
Yeah, she's amazing.
We've put on events with her. We also work with Hope Sound Early Learning Center, which we had a wonderful, it was a daddy-daughter date night there in February, which was great. Banner Lake, we've done quite a few things with. Boys and Girls Club have been a wonderful relationship as well. The community is, it's interesting because they're always very open, especially like the nonprofit sector, to understand how important dads are and involving dads are.
Yeah.
So it's a refreshing change to see that they're so willing to come along and understand what we're trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. I know Wendy Reynoso from Banner Lake Club was from our old studio when we were at Florida Podcast Studio, so you can go back and check her interview. And Jessica and Mike Redstone here are going to be some of our future interviews as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so it's really just a wonderful community that we live in. And again, that support, it takes a village.
Sure.
It takes a village because our kids definitely need that support. And heck, as a parent, I need that support.
Sure.
So it's wonderful to have that. And then some of the other things that I love about Martin County Healthy Start is that, we have such a great relationship and they're wonderful in the community. But they've always been so supportive and helpful with CSC videos and social media. Was it 2 years ago that you helped me with one of my Try Not to Laugh videos?
Yes, that does sound like me.
It was a Father's Day special. So you and, was it Roy?
Yes, it was Roy.
Going back and forth, trying not to laugh. I think you definitely won and knocked that out of the park.
I had better jokes. I don't know. I forget who laughed. But
I think he laughed the most because you're like just so like.
It's very dry.
Dry and on point with your jokes.
Very
Do
dry.
you have one for me?
Oh, always. What's the scariest plant in the forest? Bamboo.
Oh my God.
That's for you kids.
That's going to be the highlight of all the jokes for Halloween this year.
Oh, I hope so.
But
I hope so.
bamboo. Okay.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because. All right, that's the last one, I promise.
No.
No, trust me, you want that to be the last one. We'll be here all day.
Because you just have them and you're just rolling right off your tongue.
It was, I knew I was destined to be a father because of my love of dad jokes.
And do you tell these jokes to your dads to teach them how to
Oh, yeah.
get the laughter in the household going?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good icebreaker too, but oh, yeah.
I love that so much. I was actually a few weeks ago just at the Baby Cafe at the Blake Library in partnership with the Martin County Library System. And I was presenting and sharing all of the information about what CSC does and who we support and fund. And I was speaking to some of the moms there, and I was like, oh, they also have David Cardno's Fatherhood Initiative. I will get it. I promise you.
You're
I
doing
will
great.
get it. And so some of the moms there were interested because they all have brand new babies
Sure.
or up to a year old. There was some toddlers there. So it was really cute. But I know that you said that you've presented there as well.
One of our fatherhood educators did, yes.
Awesome. So I know that we were supposed to have one of your dads on, and we will have him come on because I like being able to hear from the people who are using the services as well. But you just came from a meeting, so what did you guys kind of go over? You don't have to share names or anything.
No, of
but
course.
what kind of?
It was a.
What's your typical meeting?
So typically, I met with an individual through our Team Dad program. So that's dad coaching. It's individual one-on-one sessions. And, today we just kind of, it was actually our first session that we utilized the curriculum. The first time we met was something we do our assessments and whatever. No, today we just kind of dived right in, learned some of our characteristics of the 24/7 dad, and, really kind of talked about what our role is as a man.
What is the role of a man?
So that is a wonderful question. That is a great question. So we find, these roles are kind of being redefined as time goes on. But I like to think our role as a man in the family is obviously provider is one of them, sure. But it's more than just that. It's about being a nurturer, also being a caretaker, right? Mom and dad, we tend to have different roles, but sometimes those roles intersect. And I think it's, dad should be able to kind of lean into all those, right? We're not in the 50s anymore where dad comes home and sits on the couch and turns on the TV. It's now dad is, I had the privilege of staying home with my daughter from, I think, 6 months to like a year and a half before I started here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was the best opportunity I've ever had. I was finishing up my master's degree at the time, so I was able to take off and finish that schooling and spend that time with her, and it was wonderful. The only thing I would change is I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
So kind of taking on these roles, and dad doesn't just go to work anymore. So I think it's important that's okay to do that, right? And I think we're doing a lot better job as a society recognizing that.
So what do you think about paternity leave? You think it's absolutely necessary, right?
Of course.
I mean, both having both the mother and father there in those first couple months are just amazing for both to be able to have that bonding with the infant, because that's that early childhood development. That's that coddling. That's the love. That's the teaching them that they're safe. That's
of
what
course.
That's what it's about.
Prenatally, babies do much better when there's an involved father, right?
Yeah, share some of those statistics with me.
After baby is born, so I apologize. I don't remember all these off the top of my head, but some of our strengths of having a father is they're at lower risk of a load of poor childhood outcomes, a lower risk of infant mortality, low birth, a lower risk of low weight, emotional behavior problems, neglect and abuse injury, obesity, poor school performance, teen pregnancy, incarceration as a juvenile. The biggest indicator, and this one always sticks out to me, the biggest indicator that your child will grow up and become incarcerated is no father in the home. They've actually done a study that it's a two-parent household or a single father household, still substantially less likely to be incarcerated than just a single mom household. So that's why it's so important for dad to be involved, engaged, right? And why we understand how important moms are, right? So why dad involvement is good for moms: they're more likely to receive prenatal care, less likely to smoke during pregnancy. Healthier births, lower risk of postpartum stress, more leisure time, and higher marital satisfaction. Just some of, and I have just a few more and then I'll be done. I'm not going to bore you all with statistics because I could do that all day. But one of the ones that really stuck out to me was 90% of all homeless and runaway children are from fatherless homes.
What was that percentage?
90%.
Wow.
Yeah. 63% of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. 85% of all children who show behavior disorders come from fatherless homes, 20 times the average. And 75% of all adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers come from fatherless homes, 10 times the average. And 85% of all youths in prison come from fatherless homes, 20 times the average. So I always like to mention those because it's just shocking, because we think of, just the detriment of being incarcerated, the detriment of suffering from a substance abuse disorder. A lot of that the data is showing us can be avoided if we have an involved dad. And I always like to say keyword there is involved, because, there are dads who are there, but they're not involved.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not because they don't want to be, they struggle to know how.
Because maybe their dad was that 1950s dad that just turned on the TV.
And I've heard some horror stories. But no, I mean, you bring up an excellent point, right? It's we act how we learned.
There's a lot of beauty in unlearning some of those habits. Can any dad come and be a part of your program?
Correct. Yes. In Martin County, any dad who, because we do, we will do like support groups. We'll do family activities as with the father-daughter dance. There's no stipulation for you to come join us.
Are all your services free?
All of our services are free.
Wow.
Yeah.
And some of the programs getting into like Banner Lake and that sort of thing, and having these sponsored events, are you looking for additional sponsorships for those like off the beat events?
Yes. So when we do kind of those family events, or like a fun dad support group, sponsors are always welcome, right? Unfortunately, everything isn't free. But if anyone's willing to sponsor, for our father-daughter dance, Chick-fil-A was wonderful. They gave us free food. Anthony's Pizza, big shout out to them. They've been wonderful to us. And so we are eternally grateful for anyone who's willing to come and support, our cause, right? Yeah. And lastly is, and there's also a kind of information about this, but I have the privilege to sit on kind of an internal group called the Quality Parenting Initiative, and CC Kids is kind of running a call to action, and they're working on having 25 new foster families by 2025. Right? There's over, in the Treasure Coast area, there's over 700 kids in foster care right now, and there's only 80 foster homes.
Wow. So
it's so, like I said, I grew up in a, guardianship type foster care situation, and I know how important it is to have, a father and obviously, of course, a mother, but to have that kind of guidance and direction for kids. So if we could, get the word out, and, CC on their website, Communities Connected with Children, it's all the information about it, but really just trying to, a call to action to get out and, help these kids. It's a great service we could do. I know we say kids are the future, right? But, they need help right now.
Yes.
So,
Exactly, and that's why we're trying to do this, to make sure
sure.
that they have a brighter future. I actually had foster siblings growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of 7, believe it or not, but I had 2 siblings that stayed with us. I still call them siblings, so
Right.
love you guys. Anyways, was there anything else that you wanted to mention that you thought that our viewers and those listening might want to know about?
Not, I don't have any other real events to plug. I just want to say to all the dads out there, we appreciate you and you matter, right? And we're here for you. And I know sometimes it may not feel it, but you are valuable and you're desperately needed. So please give us a call anytime. We're happy to help.
And what's the number to call you?
So the best number to reach us would be 772-463-2888, 772-463-2888, and extension 142.
Awesome. Drew, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm just so grateful for the work that you're doing, changing lives and making things brighter for our future. I say it a lot. I say it for a lot because we invest in our future, CSC, Children's Services Council of Martin County, and we love what we do. We love that we have such a wonderful community that genuinely cares. So thank you for the work that you're doing. It's been an absolute pleasure, like I said, and I look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you very much for having me and the opportunity to come and talk about what we do.
Of course. All right, guys. So check out the next episode. Like, follow, share. Check out the next episode and get Drew some more dads. Like
That would be great.
dads are very important, as you can tell from the statistics. 90% for incarceration and 63% for suicide. Like, those are huge numbers. So let's give the dads some love. Have a great day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.